must-haves. Look out for our brands at your favorite retail stores.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And it's time now for our Noodle King segment. Sitting in the studio with Tobeka is Nicole Chetty, who is the brand marketing manager for Noodle King. How are you doing today, Nicole?
You, Bibi Ayesha.
I'm great. I'm always doing great. I'm so happy to have you in studio with us. Nicole, please, can you remind us who is Noodle King?
Sure. Noodle King is a FMCG company that specializes in the production and distribution of noodles, also ensuring that its brand and product is always fresh and relevant. Noodle King produces several popular brands of instant noodles, including Easy Noodles, Easy Mee Goreng, Hot Flash, and Egg Noodle, as well as Easy Pastas.
Oh, that's amazing. Please, can you tell us how did Noodle King start and where is Noodle King currently?
Sure. So, how we got here is we started off in June 2009, right? We imported a brand called Love Me Noodles into South Africa. In March 2015, the idea was born to start manufacturing noodles in South Africa due to the volatile rand. In May 2016, the first set of machines landed in South Africa, and then machinery was commissioned, and trial batches completed in August of 2016. In September 2016, we launched our noodles called Easy Noodles Singles into the market. Then in February 2017, we launched Easy Noodle 5-pack into the market, which is a very popular brand currently. In June 2018, we purchased more packing machines because the demand got higher. Then in July 2018, we started our night shift production. So we ran 24-hour production. In June 2020, we purchased our new property in Richard Carter Road in Mobeni. Then in August 2020, we bought new machines which arrived in South Africa as well and commissioned the new plant in November. In November 2020, the production started for the new premises in the plant. The plant in the new premises rather. And then in July of 2021, the new brand of hot noodles called Hot Flash was launched by Noodle King. In August,
please repeat the name of the new product that you said has been launched.
That new product in 2021 was Hot Flash Noodles. Flash Noodles. So it comes in 3 variants: chili beef, chili chicken, and chili cheese. Then in August, we have the new premium egg noodle brand that was launched in 2021. So egg noodle came about for Noodle King, and that came into the market. In May 2024, we installed our new plant, again, a new noodle plant. In December 2024, we've launched our Easy Mee Goreng noodles, which you find now in your stores. And then in January 2025, we've installed a shortcut pasta plant, which we produce Easy Pasta.
So lots and lots of growth, and you guys at Noodle King are just getting bigger and better. That is just so amazing. I'm going to ask you, Easy Mee Goreng, please tell our listeners, what is this noodle all about?
Sure. So it comes as a hot and spicy variant with 1 round noodle, seasoning sachet with chili flakes, as well as chili seasoning oil and chili oil sachet with soy sauce. So this is the new product that we have launched. You need to try those out. It comes in a red and white packet, and you'll find it very affordable in the market.
So it's hard to ask you the next question because you're obviously going to be subjective, but we still would like to know, why does Noodle King stand out?
Sure. So we have a few pointers of why we stand out. Firstly, we locally manufacture it to suit South African taste preferences. We committed to quality control and affordability. We compete with big global brands. Basically, we offer value-driven alternatives, as well as we very popular in the retail, wholesale, and informal trade sectors.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Growing bigger and better and still expanding. And that's just so, so, so exciting.
Yes.
So now it's competition time. It's competition time. It's the part where, all our listeners are super, 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 super excited. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to call out the 2 questions, but you do know, my respected listeners, and even our listeners who are listening to us from Johannesburg, you do know this, that we do need your name, your surname, your cell phone number, as well as the area from which you are calling us from. I'm going to call out that number shortly, where you need to send us your WhatsApp messages. But I'm going to ask you the questions, 2 questions to win a hamper, compliments of Noodle King. Number 1, can you name the year that Noodle King started? Can you name the year that Noodle King started? That is question number 1. Question number 2, what new product are we producing from January 2025? What is the new product that Noodle King is producing and marketing since January 2025? The number where you need to send us your answers is 060-904-1056. Your name, your surname, your cell phone number, the area from which you are sending us the message, the area where you live. Basically, that's what it is. And the answer to those 2 easy questions. And I'm going to ask Tobeka, do we have any winners as yet? We don't mind helping you, because here on Phenomenal Family with Noodle King, we want to give you the prize. We want to assist you. Tobeka, do we have any winners as yet? Okay, so I am going to ask if this is correct. This is our the response that we have from the first person thus far. Nicole?
Yes.
2009?
Definitely, that's the answer. June 2009.
There we go. And the brand, Easy Pasta?
Correct.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
There we go. Mubarak to you, Sister Munira Patel from Asheville. You are the winner of today's Noodle King hamper giveaway. All you need to do is make your way to the Al Ansar building on West Road in Overport. Please go to Sister Kelly in the reception area. Tell her you are the winner. We will send her your information. And there you go. Then you can start enjoying the products from Noodle King. Nicole, please remind us why Noodle King should be in our grocery list and in our baskets.
So Noodle King products are quickly becoming the brand of choice in South Africa. And I believe that we are very affordable, very, very, very cheap. And it's a must-have in everybody's pantry, I feel. And it's a family
and you're forgetting to add. Correct. And you're forgetting to add super, super, super tasty. That's what we love so much with Noodle King.
Definitely.
Super tasty, definitely. That is Nicole Chetty from Noodle King, and we will be chatting to her again next week, Wednesday. In October, I want to share something with you without letting too much out. In October, there is a special giveaway for one lucky listener from Noodle King. October is my birthday month, so we would like somebody else to also be happy. But Nicole, I think closer to the time, we'll let that get out of the bag.
Definitely.
We've come to the end of our show. Yes, definitely towards closer to that time. Nicole, thank you so much for coming into the studio, and we look forward to chatting to you again next week. Thank you so much. Stay phenomenal.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you so much. So today it's the ladies, myself, Nicole, and we have Sister Tobeka, who's my sous chef for today, my co-pilot for today. And I'm going to leave you with this important reminder for this Midweek Wednesday. Be your own kind of beautiful, because you are. Be your own kind of handsome, because you are. And continue leaving a heartprint wherever you go. Also, an important takeaway from today's show, you heard Sister Yasira Suleiman talking about the theme for this year's World Sight Day. Love your eyes. Look after your body. It's an amana from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Take care of yourself. Make those eye appointments. Have regular checkups. And inshallah, please keep us in your du'as. I'm going to say to you now, Please keep it locked on to Radio Al Ansar. Never ever underestimate the power of dua. Tomorrow, you and I have a date on Cooking with Bibi Ayesha at 12:10 right here on Radio Al Ansar. Up next, we have the news and Zahir Basa with the social network. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Audio stream across the world on radioalansar.co.za.
An informative Islamic global perspective. This is Al Ansar News.
Making news, these are the 10th of September. The news from Durban, 90.4 FM, Peter Maritzburg, 105.6 FM. Majority of Etegwini's South African Human Rights Commission complaints centers around water and sanitation. America Monino. A damning report that saw Etegwini topping the list of municipalities being identified for human rights violations shows that most complaints are centered around water and sanitation. The South African Human Rights Commission this week released its State of Human Rights in South Africa report for 2024-2025. It is based on more than 2,000 complaints lodged over the financial year. KwaZulu-Natal, Limpopo, and the Northwest are the provinces that saw the bulk of the complaints. Etegwini, Rustenburg, Polokwane municipalities emerged as hotspots for alleged rights violation on a local government level. The Commission chairperson, Chris Nissen, says the KwaZulu-Natal office alone received 395 complaints. 35 were directed at Etegwini municipality, the highest number against any metro. More news, the health department says too many South African children with cancer are diagnosed too late, costing young lives that could be saved. During International Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, the department has revealed that more than 1,000 children are diagnosed in South Africa each year. According to the National Council or the National Cancer Registry, leukemia is the most frequently diagnosed childhood cancer locally. While the survival rate has improved to 60%, it still falls behind the wealthier countries where more than 80% of the children survive. Health spokesperson Foster Mohale is urging parents to familiarize themselves with the early warning signs of childhood cancer and to seek medical attention without delay. More news, the High Court in Johannesburg has sentenced 7 Chinese nationals to 20 years imprisonment for human trafficking. The group was sentenced earlier today. In March, the court convicted all 7 on 158 of the 160 charges relating to the trafficking of illegal immigrants into South Africa and subjecting them to forced labor. They were arrested after police received a tip-off about an illegal factory employing foreign nationals, prompting them to conduct a raid. During the raid, at a factory, 91 foreign nationals were found. 37 were children. According to police reports, the victims were confined to premises under inhumane conditions with armed guards controlling their movements. The court recounted the testimonies of some of the victims, including one who lost a finger after being denied medical treatment. The National Prosecuting Authority spokesperson Pindim Jordan has welcomed the sentence and saying it is encouraging to see these people behind bars. More news, President Ramaphosa has responded to questions in Parliament. In its question and answer sessions, various issues have been raised, such as the U.S. tariff on South Africa. President Ramaphosa had this to say on why South Africa should not retaliate with severe tariffs on the U.S.
You need to achieve. We believe that we are on the right course, a course that should end up with a mutually beneficial outcome. The United States is our second largest trading partners, accounting for hundreds of thousands of workers who are employed here. The 600 US companies that are doing business in South Africa employ many people, and it is the interests of these many people that we as a government have to take care of. Before we engage in a war that may not yield the results that we want. So if one wants to play to the gallery, one could embark on the type of option that Honorable Malema is talking about without knowing what outcome that option will have.
International story: Iran has condemned the Israeli regime's aggression on Qatari soil, stressing the need for Muslim nations to act in unison to confront the illegal entity's atrocities and its looming hegemony. The secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, Ali Larijani, says that the Israeli aggression on Qatari soil bears a message for the regional countries that they should brace up for the regime's looming hegemony. Israel launched airstrikes on the headquarters of the Palestinian resistance movement Hamas in the Qatari capital Doha in what was described as an assassination operation that claimed the lives of several Hamas officials as well as civilians in the Persian Gulf Arab country. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said in a post, he says that Israel has heinously done what Iran would never contemplate, which is attacking the people and government of Qatar. In your weather, it's 25 degrees. A quick reminder of our top story. A damning report that saw Etegwini topping the list of municipalities being identified for human rights violations showed that most complaints are centered around water and sanitation. That's the news. We cross over to Peter Maritzburg.
Making news on the 17th of Rabiul Awal, corresponding with the 10th of September on 105.6 FM in Peter Maritzburg. Court battles and businesses outlook dominate today's headlines. Good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum. I am Huda Ahmed. The Msunduzi municipality is fighting back its length battle with Royal AM over a sponsorship dispute. The case is currently before the court, with the municipality defending its position against claims made by the football club. The outcome is expected to determine the future of the sponsorship agreement. In Peter Maritzburg, a fire in the CBD caused major disruptions on Tuesday evening. Emergency services were called to contain the blaze, which sent smoke into the streets and forced nearby businesses and residents to evacuate. Roads in the area were closed while the fire was brought under control, and investigations into the case are currently ongoing. And in more news, 8 pupils in Soweto are allegedly drugged and assaulted, sparking shock and anger in the community. Authorities are investigating the case while parents and residents demand accountability and protection for children at schools. In a developing story, President Cyril Ramaphosa has insisted that South Africa will not be bullied by international powers. He dismissed claims that the government is bowing to pressure from the United States, saying policy decisions are made independently and in the best country's interests. And finally, in international news, a new survey shows that U.S. firms operating in China are more pessimistic than at any time since 1999. The findings reflect concerns over business conditions and highlight challenges faced by American companies in the Chinese market. The report suggests growing ease about future of the U.S.-China trade relations. And now let's take a look at the Salah schedule for today, followed by our Islamic indicators and temperatures across the region. Asr Salah commences at 4:07, Maghrib Salah commences at 5:50, Isha Salah commences at 6:52. And now moving on to our Durban times, Asr Salah commences at 4:05, Maghrib Salah commences at 5:44, Isha Salah commences at 7:04. And now moving on to our Islamic indicators, Zakat Nisab is 14,231, Mahari Fatimi is 35,578, and the minimum Meher is 711 Rand. And now taking a look at temperatures, Peter Maritzburg 9 to a high of 22, Newcastle 7 to a high of 21, and Escort 4 to a high of 18. For Al Ansar News, this is Huda Ahmed.
This feature is brought to you by Noodle King.
Phenomenal Family is proudly brought to you by the Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Experience an adventure of a lifetime. Are you ready for an unforgettable adventure in the heart of South Africa? Look no further than Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Introducing our exclusive South African special, a day visit for only 850 Rand per person, and children under 10 pay half price. Endure the ultimate safari experience with a 5-course meal, a thrilling game drive showcasing the Big Five, and a visit to our Predator Education and Rehabilitation Center. Plus, enjoy a hot snack and so much more. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to connect with nature and create lifelong memories. Book your day visit today by calling 081 434 8859. That's 081 434 8859. Kwantu Private Game Reserve, where the wild heart of South Africa beats. Book now and experience the adventure of a lifetime.
You know what really gets under my skin? When my cake or icing just doesn't come out right. It's such a bummer. But I found this incredible margarine called Wooden Spoon, and it's been a total lifesaver for my baking adventures. It makes my icing turn out just perfect every time. When I whip up something with Wooden Spoon, I feel like a master baker. Seriously, my cakes have never looked better. The secret? Wooden Spoon margarine. It's like the magic ingredient for nailing those perfect bakes. And guess what? It's even endorsed by the South African Bakers Guild Association. Just another quality product from the Willowton Group.
Radio Al-Ansar, together with Monty's Convenience at Astron Energy, in association with The Witness, Public Eye, Maritzburg Sun, and proudly supported by Msunduzi Municipality Tourism Unit. It's a day full of flavor, culture, and community. Delicious food stalls, vibrant energy, and entertainment. A celebration of South African rich heritage. Don't miss the excitement, the taste, and the togetherness. It's all happening at the Heritage Day Food Festival. We'll see you there.
Johannesburg, are you ready? This October, prepare for an experience that will light up this city. The brand new Al-Ansar Lakewood Festival is coming to the stunning conference center in Ormonde. From October 2nd to the 6th, we're taking over for 5 incredible days from 10 a.m. till late. Think Team Al-Ansar meets the best of Josie. From comedy to content creators, it's everyone and everything all jam-packed together. A shopper's paradise, flavors from around the world, non-stop entertainment. This isn't just another event. This is the ultimate family day out. The Al-Ansar Lakewood Festival, where Johannesburg comes together.
Phenomenal Family is proudly brought to you by the Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Experience an adventure of a lifetime.
The views and opinions expressed by the presenters and guests of Radio Al-Ansar are not necessarily the views and opinions of Radio Al-Ansar and the Al-Ansar Foundation.
Looking to book your next holiday? Make your way to One Stop Travel and Tours. At One Stop Travel, we offer a wide range of holidays at the most competitive prices. Group tours, tailor-made holidays, cruises, transfers, accommodation, travel insurance, and car hire. Visit our website on www.onestoptours.co.za for our current Turkey specials, Mauritius school holiday deals, and Umrah packages. Choose from a multitude of pre-made packages. Visit one of our branches in Overport, Gateway, Musgrave Centre, Fordsburg, Westwood Mall, Pavilion Shopping Centre, Chatsworth, Phoenix, and Cape Town. Contact us today on 0860 109 500. One Stop Travel and Tours, your one-stop travel shop.
It's official. Checkers Foods Kawi Park is our first food store with a halal butchery, bakery, and deli certified by NIHT, the National Independent Halal Trust. This will ensure high standards and ethical practices across our butchery, bakery, and deli from farm to table. So visit Checkers Foods Kawi Park for an exceptional shopping experience that keeps getting better and better.
Verily, every soul shall taste death. A gentle reminder for all of us. The Al-Ansar Outreach warmly invites you, dear sisters, to our annual Ghusl classes, a sacred journey guided by respected mu'allimat. Ladies only. Saturday, 25th October, 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Seats are limited, so don't delay. Register now, 031-208-1601.
Radio Al-Ansar.
Allah, 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 Allah. تنہا ہوں میں اور امتحان لاکھوں تنے ہے سامنے بیٹھا ہوں میں مایوس کن آئے نہ کوئی مجھے تھامنے اللہ اللہ تو میری سن لے صدا ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير مایوب ہوں تیرا کرم کرتا رکھا عزت بھی تھی بڑھ کے دیا اوقات سے دولت بھی طاقت بھی اور وقت بھی کر دے خطا ہر معاف تو فہرست اسیاں کو چھوڑ دے اللہ اللہ تو میری سن لے صدا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير رنگینیوں خود غرضیوں میں ہے گزاری یہ عمر ہے آرزو بس یہی کر دوں تیرے نام شام و سحر تسکین دل حاصل کروں رخ اپنی جانب تو موڑ دے اللہ اللہ تو میری سن لے صدا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير لبے رہے ذکر و دعا اور تجھ سے میں ڈرتا رہوں کر کے عمل قرآن پہ جنت کی راہوں پہ چلتا رہوں خدمت کروں اسلام کی پچھتاوے کا غم توڑ دے اللہ اللہ تو میری سن لے صدا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير روتا رہا سجدوں میں جو دل میں لیے امت کا غم پڑھتا رہوں میں تو فتن اپنے نبی پہ درود ہر قدم اور روح جب تن سے جدا جنت کی جانب چلے دوڑ کر اللہ اللہ تو میری سن لے صدا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير حسبنا Radio Ansar. In the sands of ancient Arabia, a light began to shine. A man of truth and mercy, with a heart so divine. From the Mount of Hira, a message came to him. A prophet for the ages, to guide us from within. Oh Muhammad, a messenger of peace. From your words and from your wisdom, our souls can find release. Oh Muhammad, in every prayer you prayed.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome. It's a beautiful wacky Wednesday edition of the Social Network right here on your favorite Islamic KZN radio station, Radio Al Ansar, with me, your host, Brother Zahir Basa, alongside Sister Tebeka on the technical side. Yeah, today, as we take you up to 4:30, yes, we're back to normal scheduling times. Alhamdulillah, it's good to be back in full force here for today. And remember, you can get through to us on our very simple number of 0609041056. We had a bit of an error yesterday with the WhatsApp, so we've got it back again today. I know there was some messages to read out, so humble apologies. Believe you me, I love reading your messages. So please keep them coming through, and then I will obviously allocate specific times to read them accordingly, inshallah. We know Sister Rooks, she sent us a message yesterday, so I will search for that message to read it today as well. So don't forget, I forgot about you, sister. But it's going to be a fantastic show. We're going to be talking to Sister Fadwa Bully, all the way from the mother city of Cape Town. And today's topic is from people pleaser to self-love. From people pleaser to self-love. Have you always been a person who likes to sort of make people happy, who was not a person to say no, who wants to try their best to please everyone around you? Why? We don't know. It's just something that was built into us once upon a time. Or if you are still part of that sort of mindset, then we'll teach you how to sort of love yourself more. Put yourself first. It's not about just saying no to everybody. It's about saying no in situations which it doesn't need to involve you. It doesn't need to get done because you've got other things to do. So putting yourself first is very, very important. We don't want you to be left behind. And inshallah, this will be a segment to sort of educate us and give us some food for thought on how we sort of carry out our days amongst people as well. We're not here to become hard-skinned or thick-skinned people. We are here to be more of a just person, just to ourselves. And I think that's very, very important. Self-happiness and self-love is very important if you want to be sane. That's what I think. But yes, it's going to be a fantastic show here this afternoon. And yes, we'll be chatting to Sister Fadwa, as mentioned. We'll also be chatting to Brother Muhammad Amir, who joins us for a deep dive on the sort of, on this latest, let me say what we got here for you. Yes, we've got some fantastic sort of topics of discussion where he's going to be talking about the South African, what's this thing called again? The launch of the second edition of the Early Guiding Stars of KZN from 1860 to 1960. Now, the book shines a light on the pioneering scholars who laid the foundation of Islam in the province, preserving their sacrifices and contributions for future generations. Now, today, we'll speak to the author about why this work matters now more than ever. So that's the second edition of the Early Guiding Stars, when our ancestors came on the, what is the ship's called? Belvedere and? What is that? The Orient, if I'm not mistaken. Was it the Orient? The Orient and the Belvedere. Those are the two ships that came to South Africa in 1860. Correct me if I am wrong. Belvedere does sound familiar. The Orient, perhaps, I don't know. But let me know on 0609041056. So this is going to be sort of like a blast from the past beyond documenting history. This is something that we need to talk about in our community as well. Subhanallah. All right, so that's our show for this afternoon. You can get through to us and Do I have something to share with you? Yes, I do. A riddle. I got a riddle for you. So let's see if I can just get you a nice riddle here this afternoon. I found a nice one just for you guys. So fastest fingers first. You got your phone ready? Are you ready? Okay. I speak without a mouth and I hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. So what am I? Quickest answers. Quick. 084. Not 084. 060 904 1056. I have to remember a lot of numbers these days, so please forgive me if I stumble upon them as well. But yes, some headlines. Yesterday we saw big bullies of the Middle East. Yes, the blue and the white flag. Causing mayhem in Doha, Qatar. How's that one? So they're bombing some missiles in Qatar, in Doha, and they're targeting Hamas leaders. And I think they obviously want to stop the ceasefire from taking place. Now, this is present. It's so clear as day. There's no hiding behind anything. They've sort of really painted a picture as to who they are. And I think now a lot of people have opened up their eyes about the specific Zionist government, the apartheid Israel, the sort of minds behind what is taking place, and you're learning a lot. And I think a lot of people are exposing this particular community, and it's not just in Israel, it's happening across the world. It's the Zionist mindset. It's what they are doing. They think that it's sort of this thing called Jewish supremacy, which they are spreading, and that's sort of the ideologies or the ideas of what Zionism is, and then they sort of encapsulating the whole the Jewish faith and saying this is what we teach and that's what you must believe, and this land was given to us 3,000 years ago and we're yet to claim it, and not just the land in the Middle East, we are yet to conquer the world, which they are actually doing if you think about it. So there was a short little clip that I saw on when was it? On Facebook not too long ago. It was yesterday or the day before, and it was talking about there was a movie in 1934 called The House of Rothschild. Now, if you're not familiar with the Rothschilds, that was a family back in the sort of 1500s, 1600s, like the 16th or 17th centuries, and it was a father, and he had 5 sons, if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 5 sons, and he taught them the art of finance, and he said, you must go to all the European countries. It was a very dramatized sort of dialogue. You must go, but it's the truth. It's exactly what happened. I'm sending you to all the different European cities, the busy cities, the sort of centers of trade, and we're going to be opening up our own banks there. And we are not going to be ruled by the sort of kings and the empires of the time. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting all this money. We're going to form the banking system, which we have still today, and powerful figures, whether it's politicians or kings or, rulers of particular lands, we're not going to be working for them. They're going to be sort of in cahoots with us as we're going to be lending them money to sort of build their empires. So that's what has happened for the past how many hundreds years. That's why we have interest and interest rates and all of these things that are killing people. It's a design system that took place hundreds of years ago, which is still implemented today, which has been the start of this, obviously, the Zionist sort of ideologies. And it's spread all over. It's spread all over, and it's an idea that has sort of been passed on within these communities, and now it's gotten to a point where, we rule the world, and that's what we do. If you look at it, they control the media, they control the narrative. They started this whole thing about Islamic terrorism in 1984. It even goes far back as to the sort of 1950s about putting the Shah at the time in Iran in power until the Islamic Revolution took place. And then obviously the Ayatollah took power, and they have been trying ever since to bring down Iran. But Iran, as you know, has also a good history. They were the Persian Empire for some time, and they obviously had a lot of they're also part of the Islamic golden age for a lot of sort of forward thinking and forward moving ideologies, or sort of things that actually brought Islam to the forefront and did it in a peaceful and just way. So lots to learn. History is very, very interesting. So read up on these things. And I have mentioned this before. If you're looking for some interesting Islamic sort of documentaries, there's this channel on YouTube called Kings and Generals. And they sort of tell an animated way with the maps of how certain rulers during the Islamic ages took place, when the rise of the Arab Empire through the times, and how a positive and impactful way that Islam had over time, especially in the in human history. So very interesting stuff. And also Caspian Report. I have mentioned this before. If you want to see the lies of the Rashidun Caliphate, then this is a beautiful channel. It's told from a very objective point of view, from a historian's point of view, for a person who does research, and sort of gives you the information, not from an Islamic bias, but from a sort of a researcher, historian kind of perspective. And it's still told with so much of passion and so much of truth that it really boosts your iman when it comes to understanding the history of Islam, especially during the Prophet's Rasulullah's time, even after he passed on, the sort of the Rashidun Caliphate spread the message of Islam. So beautiful stuff indeed. So yeah, lots of things to talk about, but let's go for a quick break. When we do return, we'll be chatting to Sister Fadwa Bully, talking about from people pleaser to self-love. Stay tuned for that.
Looking to book your next holiday? Make your way to One Stop Travel and Tours. At One Stop Travel, we offer a wide range of holidays at the most competitive prices. Group tours, tailor-made holidays, cruises, transfers, accommodation, travel insurance, and car hire. Visit our website on www.onestoptours.co.za for our current Turkey specials, Mauritius school holiday deals, and Umrah packages. Choose from a multitude of pre-made packages. Visit one of our branches in Overport, Gateway, Musgrave Centre, Fordsburg, Westwood Mall, Pavilion Shopping Centre, Chatsworth, Phoenix, and Cape Town. Contact us today on 0860 109 500. One Stop Travel and Tours, your one-stop travel shop.
It's finally here. Mega Linen Factory Outlet is thrilled to announce the reopening of our newly revamped store on the 29th of August. We've fluffed up the pillows, tucked in the sheets, and folded up the duvets just for you. Your favorite linen store has a fresh new look, some great deals and services, but we're serving style and comfort like never before. We can't wait to welcome you back and make all your home linen dreams come true. Mega Linen Factory Outlet, 148 Lansdowne Road, Jacobs, Durban, home of affordable luxury.
Radio Al-Ansar, together with Monty's Convenience at Astron Energy, in association with The Witness, Public Eye, Maritzburg Sun, and proudly supported by Msunduzi Municipality Tourism Unit. It's a day full of flavor, culture, and community. Delicious food stalls, vibrant energy, and entertainment. A celebration of South African rich heritage. Don't miss the excitement, the taste, and the togetherness. It's all happening at the Heritage Day Food Festival. We'll see you there.
Looking to book your next holiday? Make your way to One Stop Travel and Tours. At One Stop Travel, we offer a wide range of holidays at the most competitive prices. Group tours, tailor-made holidays, cruises, transfers, accommodation, travel insurance, and car hire. Visit our website on www.onestoptours.co.za for our current Turkey specials, Mauritius school holiday deals, and Umrah packages. Choose from a multitude of pre-made packages. Visit one of our branches in Overport, Gateway, Musgrave Centre, Fordsburg, Westwood Mall, Pavilion Shopping Centre, Chatsworth, Phoenix, and Cape Town. Contact us today on 0860 109 500. One Stop Travel and Tours, your one-stop travel shop.
Africa. For too many communities across Africa and the world, access to clean water remains a dream. At Africa Muslims Agency, we dig deep, reaching into the heart of the earth to fill the cups of those in need. Sponsor a water well for 16,500 Rand, or a borehole in Afghanistan for 55,000 Rand, or Africa for 65,000 Rand, or any amount. With water comes food, health, education, and growth. An ongoing reward with Africa Muslims Agency.
Johannesburg, are you ready? This October, prepare for an experience that will light up this city. The brand new Al-Ansar Lakewood Festival is coming to the stunning conference center in Ormonde. From October 2nd to the 6th, we're taking over for 5 incredible days from 10 a.m. till late. Think Team Al-Ansar meets the best of Josie. From comedy to content creators, it's everyone and everything all jam-packed together. A shopper's paradise, flavors from around the world, non-stop entertainment. This isn't just another event. This is the ultimate family day out. The Al-Ansar Lakewood Festival, where Johannesburg comes together.
Radio Al-Ansar.
ضياء منه القمر يستحي كل النساء تود أن تكون مثلك يا عائشة بنت أبي بكر حبيب رسول الله فازت بقلب خير المرسلين في العلم فاقت علم كل العالمين خبر جليل يزفه جبريل يجوب الدنيا عائشة حبك له حبا فصرت حب الناس لقلوب المسلمين بنت أبي بكر حبيبي رفيق النبي رسول الله عائشة حبك له حبا من يحبه فصرت حب الناس لقلوب المسلمين بنت أبي بكر عائشة حميرة حبيب رفيق النبي رسول الله رفيقة النبي في الحياة حب النبي لها يفوق المعجزات يا عائشة بنت أبي بكر زوجة رسول الله.
Yes, welcome back. Assalamu alaikum. It is a social network you're listening to right here on Radio Al Ansar. And up next is going to be a very interesting interview. We'll be chatting to Sister Fadwa Bully. And today, what are we talking about? Well, let me give you some information here for today. So today we're talking about from self-love, from people pleaser to self-love. So yeah, let's talk about this. So many of us are caught up in the trap of saying yes when we want to say no. We bend, we overextend, we please others at the expense of our own very well-being. But what happens when you decide to shift that energy towards yourself? Well, today we're here to unpack that, and we're joined by Sister Fadwa Bully, who is an energy specialist, to unpack the transition from people-pleasing to self-love. We'll explore how to set boundaries without guilt, how to recognize when giving becomes self-sacrifice, and how to create a life that feels both generous as well as authentic. Yeah, so if you want to find out more, then stay tuned and spread the word. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Fadwa. How you doing?
Walaikum salam, Zahir. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. It's a beautiful, beautiful, wonderful hump day, which is a Wednesday. And yes, we're approaching the weekend as well. And we've passed the halfway mark in the month of Rabiul Awal. So lots of things are happening.
Yes, absolutely. It's quite cold in Cape Town today.
Ah.
How's Durban?
Lekker warm hier, lekker soos 'n somersdag, né?
Oh, is it?
Ah, we bring the heat here, just like our food. All right. I think this is a very important topic, and I think a lot of us have been victims of our own sort of doings when, we think what we're doing is being kind to others, making sure that everyone is happy with us, people pleasing. And you can't make one thing you learn in life as you get older. You cannot make everybody happy, even if you're doing it with the best of intentions, with the most sincerest of hearts. People will still look for flaws. They will still make you feel like you're inferior to them. They'll just take advantage of you. They'll manipulate you, and then you end up being worse off than you actually did with the good intentions that you do have. So people pleasing is often seen as kindness. So where's the line between being generous and then also losing oneself?
People pleasing could maybe be looked at niceness, maybe not necessarily kindness. Because sometimes with nice, we want something back in return. With kindness, there is no expectations at all. So now, with the flight response, right, what happens is, because you first get the anger response, right, then you get the freeze response, you get the flight response, and the fawning response. So people pleaser falls under fawning. Now, fawning is the deer in headlights. So picture a deer in headlights. The car comes on, the deer stands, right? Eyes go big, freezes, and then realize, okay, I need to move out of the way. Now, same with people pleasing. As a child, because we were looking at our caregivers' reactions, we were like deer in headlights. And then what do we want to do? And do people please? To be accepted or to be loved. Now, that comes from childhood because we needed to be in a space of nurturing, getting what we needed at the time. And then what happened is people don't know how to say no because they learned that at a very young age. So what happens is in adulthood, they realize that they can say no, but the guilt that comes with it, it's horrific. Make sense?
It does. Yes, it does. Indeed. Yeah, it does make sense. Please go on.
Yeah. So now people want something out of someone else, And they will always come to the people pleaser because they know with the people pleaser, they will not get a no. Until one day the people pleaser learns the no button. They learn about boundaries. They learn about putting self first. And it's very hard for the people pleaser in the beginning to say no because all they know is just people pleasing. And what happens is they become exhausted. They become exhausted and angry, right? And now they realize that everybody else, they do for everybody else, but nobody does for them. Because everybody else just think that they are fine. They don't need anything. And then now the anger starts, so especially when the person generally becomes very angry.
Now, would you say there's a way for someone, when it comes to intentions and the things that we do, like you said, for someone to check in with themselves and know that, this giving that I'm doing is healthy, it's good for me, it's nothing too much, versus the giving that is draining me? So how do we know where to draw the line as to how we sort of give people our time?
You see, the thing is you need to first sit with yourself and ask, how much capacity do I have? The only time a people pleaser reaches a point of no is when they are totally burnt out. Sometimes they get ill, they end up in hospital, and then they become angry because now they realize nobody's actually there for them. And they were there for everybody else. Because now you see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to put you in a situation where you can open up your eyes, remove the veils, and then you'll go see that it doesn't pay off in the end to just people please everybody else. So you see, in order to say no to somebody, you will say yes to yourself. Now, to replenish your energy, you're going to have to do a lot of yeses to yourself to be able to replenish all your energy. Now, in order to do that, you're going to have to say no to others. And a people pleaser doesn't or generally know how to say no. So you see, you get the manipulative people that know, I can get so much out of Zahir because Zahir can't say no. Until you reach the point of no return. And that's a dangerous point to reach because you become angry. And you become almost like ruthless. And now the no starts.
Now, what would you say are some of the warning signs that people pleasing is taking a toll on mental, physical, or even one's spiritual health?
Right. Exhaustion. Right? Can't focus properly. Burnout, total burnout. And maybe just ending up in bed, not being able to assist others or self. And normally the parents become miserable with their own children. They don't have the capacity. And then eventually the doctor will tell them, you're totally burnt out, I'm putting you on medication or something, and you need to rest. So the rest is the most important thing. Taking time out, an hour a day. Sometimes I get clients in my therapy room. And then what happens is I suggest to them, take an hour a day and a day for yourself, or even a day for yourself. Then look at me as I'm speaking gibberish. I will tell them, do you go for a walk in the morning? Or do you do any form of exercise? They tell me, no, I don't have the time. I say, what do you do? I need to see to my children. I need to see to my husband. I need to see to the household. I need to see to washing dishes, cleaning up. I say, can you get a domestic? They will say, sometimes they can't afford it, but they will tell me something like, that's states. Right? But people please as well, they also like to control. So they like things a certain way, like perfectionism. And they won't hand over to someone else to help them. And that can be dangerous for their own health. You see, when you're giving somebody, you must give from an overflowing cup, not from an empty cup. And what happens is, in most cases, we are giving from an empty cup because we don't want somebody not to like us. And that is why people please. If I'm going to give them, and then I'm going to be liked, I'm going to be loved, and I'm going to be accepted. If I'm not going to give them, they might just cast me out of my tribe. They might just not like me. And that's the dangerous part of it. So when you reach a point of, I don't care, then it actually reaches the point of I don't care if they like me or not. I don't care if they gossip about me. I just don't care because I don't have the capacity to care. I'm too exhausted. I'm too burnt out, and nobody's there for me. And then the role changes.
Now, for someone who's sort of like, they're listening, they've also said, I used to be a people pleaser, or I'm on the verge of making that transition, or someone is I think I've had enough. Now I want to do something for myself. And I think of me, I'm putting myself first, which a lot of times people do go through. Sometimes they say, sometimes I had to lose you to find myself. And it happens in a lot of situations as well. But for someone just starting the shift in their life, what's the first practical step that they can take to move towards self-love and move on?
Self-love first comes with the case of writing down the things you'd like to do for yourself. Right? And then first execute anybody else's demands or or what they're requiring from you. But because nobody taught us to put ourselves first, it becomes harder. As you're growing up, our parents basically taught us to put them first. They didn't just to put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first. They didn't say, you make the decision, you choose you. They taught us to put them first. So that's all we know, is putting our parents first. And then maybe putting your siblings first. So when we weren't allowed to say no to our siblings, we were taught to share, or maybe give God in a hiding maybe, and say, you need to share your toys with your siblings. So as a child, we didn't learn to say no. We had to just give off or give in. Now you're an adult. How do you actually do it? It's like you're needing adult permission. So the other day I got a message from a client of mine from Canada. She's a 35-year-old woman. And she's supposed to travel with her husband. And she basically needed permission. And she was looking for all the excuses under the sun not to travel. And then I basically said to her, you'll be fine. Go with your husband. But in that moment, I wanted to say, can't you make the decision yourself? But I realized she needed permission. And I just gave her that permission. And she thanked me in the end. And she said, thank you so much. So it's hard because nobody taught us and didn't give us a choice to say, what did you like to do? They told us what we must do. Now, people pleaser will listen to everybody else because they just thought that everybody else is right besides them. And that's the strange part, but also the sad part. Because now they look for external validation from parents, from caregivers, from siblings, until that day comes where the veil is removed. And now they say, enough, I'm choosing myself now. And once you taste peace, right, then you realize that you actually just want the peace. And when they expect you to do certain things, right, what's going to happen is the peace is going to become more important, because now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to test you to say, do you want to people please and create the chaos in your surroundings and your home, or are you going to choose a peace? You're going to choose yourself. And that's what generally happens.
Interesting, hey? Now, one would say also, like, maybe you can also share a somewhat of like a simple daily practice, maybe even a dua, something that you can sort of journal, perhaps a journaling habit or a grounding exercise that helps build that muscle of self-love. What can you recommend to those listening right now if they want to sort of make a difference? Where do they begin? What do they do? What's your first step into actually making this transition?
There will be 2 affirmations that I will share with the listeners. First, I am enough. And the second one will be, I am safe to choose myself. Because normally that comes with a matter of safety. If saying no to someone else is going to cause disruptions or chaos, you need to remind yourself that it is safe to say no. It is safe to choose yourself. Because safety is the most important thing here. So when people please, it's usually for a case of safety. If I'm not going to give them what they want, I'm going to be in trouble. Does that make sense?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, so it comes from a case of being a child, and I said no to someone, now the wrath is going to come afterwards. So now you're an adult, you need to remind yourself that you are safe to say no. And it is safe to choose yourself.
We have a listener just messaging and saying that this interview is very interesting and they want to find out more, saying, "Salams, I find myself easily emotionally pent up and frustrated and angry. I was a huge people pleaser. How do I deal with this kind of emotion?" So how would you sort of help this individual in terms of sort of breaking away from this frustration and this anger that comes attached when you become a people pleaser? What can you say to this person?
Definitely kinesiology, right?
And why?
If there's a kinesiologist in Durban. Because in the kinesiology sessions, we're going to find the emotion and we're going to give you a better neurological option to cope. Right? And also put you back online on your central nervous system. I'll also recommend stuff like somatic exercises and TRE, right? To get that emotion out of the body. Trampoline or rebounding is also a good thing to do, to jump it out of your system. You know? That will also be a good thing to do.
Okay, so I hope that that gives you some sort of direction there to that listener. Now, when it comes to sort of actually scripting or even rehearsing a kind of no, so people sort of create the scenario in their head. Someone's coming to me, and I feel like, okay, I have a right to say no. I am rather busy today. This person must be used to getting their way with me once upon a time, but now it's time for me to put my foot down. So it's not about being rude or abrupt and saying no, or saying, I can't do it, I got no time for you. So what's the best pleasant way to sort of approach these kinds of situations, to do it in a very kind and modest and, in a way that is Islamically inclined, to sort of dismiss a person, but obviously with some gentleness and some kindness, and saying, not today, maybe next time, or when I have time, or something of the sort? How would you sort of put that together?
I usually say, at the moment, I don't have the capacity. If it's money, somebody wants to lend or something about money, and then I say, at the moment, my budget does not allow. So it's just about being diplomatic. That I usually teach in the workshops, how to be diplomatic for certain scenarios, and we go through different scenarios. So it is hard to say no to someone, right? But you must also consider yourself in that moment. Do I have the time, the money, or energy to be able to help them out? If you don't, you must just be honest about it and say, sorry, I don't have the capacity, or I don't have the time right now. Hopefully next week, I'll see if my time frees up. So sometimes people push you to the point of being abrupt, because some people don't hear the no. But for you to hear the no, you need to hear the no first in order to say the no loud enough. If you can't hear your own no, nobody else is going to hear your no. So your no needs to be loud enough for you to hear in order for someone else to hear it. Does that make sense?
It does. It does indeed. So inshallah, that also helps our listeners out there. Now, how does protecting your energy actually make you a better partner, a parent, or a friend, or even a colleague when it comes to sort of putting yourself first? There is self-love. Your energy is changing. Your frequency is changing. Your vibrations are changing. You're becoming more in tune with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the connection of spirituality, and things are going a little bit better. So how does one get to this point? And when you do get to this point, how do we keep this point so it doesn't fizzle away, that we always maintain, our chi or our zen or whatever they call it, that saying that our chi is balanced and we don't want that to be disturbed or to go off the rails once more? How do we protect that moving forward, and how do we sort of constantly keep that muscle exercised so it doesn't go back to being pop?
Yeah, always definitely check in with yourself. And when you're putting yourself first, right, and maintaining your energy, you will have the energy for your children, for your spouse, for your home, people at home. And you won't be irritated with your work colleagues because you will have maintained your energy within yourself. But it's when you're burnt out and overgiving, and that is when you feel irritable with your family. So it's when you're in the space of overgiving. It's like I made the example the last time. It's like me giving you 100 Rand and 10 Rand notes. and your car's light on your petrol gauge is on reserve,
Mm.
and instead of putting in the whole 100 rand, you keep on putting a 10 rand at every garage that you find.
Mm.
You see what's going to happen? You're going to be stressed out. But if you put the whole 100 rand in, at least you can get to your destination without feeling stressed out. Now, what happens is with our energy is the same. If you're constantly giving out energy, how are you going to get to your destination, which is your family members, right? What's going to happen? You're going to be burnt out. You're going to be stressed out.
Mm.
And then you're going to take out your frustrations out on your family members, because family members are usually the punching bags. You know, you won't necessarily take out your frustrations with your colleagues, but you'll take it out to the people closest to you at home, because there you can be 100% yourself. You won't be able to do that with your colleagues or, you know, with people around you. So that is why it is people usually use a punching bag at home. And when the people say, why am I punching bags? I said, because they feel safest with you. You can be 100% yourself. You can be your authentic self with the punching bag. But that doesn't make it right to do that. You know? So the punching bag, I normally tell the person, call back your energy and say, I release the need to be your punching bag. I release the need to be a punching bag. And you repeat that until you feel the shift happens in your body. And then you say, I give myself permission to be happy. Or I give myself permission to say no. Now, the more you repeat it, you're going to give yourself the permission, your body's going to accept it. And your body will become stronger when you do say no.
Very nice. We've got about 3 minutes left. I've still got 1 or 2 questions left to ask. I mean, you mentioned earlier about your affirmations. If you could please repeat them and also share one principle or a mantra that you live by that keeps self-love rooted in compassion as well as one's deep faith rather than the ego taking over. I think there's a lot of factors people sort of tend to miss, especially when you sort of mature with age. It's either you remain in a certain mindset or you actually become more aware of your surroundings and more aware of things that needs to be done, and you know what is more important. Priorities need to obviously change according to your lifestyle, to who you are as a person, and to what works for you, because at the end of the day we want everyone to succeed, to prosper, to have that spiritual enlightenment, that they are connected with their creator. We don't want people to say, I've been emotionally pent up or frustrated or angry, because this also hurts the next person hearing this. Why must my fellow brother or sister go through this pain? What can we do to help each other out? And I think that's where we need to combine as a community, as an ummah, because that's the most important part of being an ummah, is to support one another. So what would you say, what tips can you give to our listeners here this afternoon with regards to what's your affirmations that you repeat every single morning that works for you in terms of self-love? And secondly, how do we sort of let go of the ego, and how do we know if the ego is taking over, and how do we prevent it from taking over in such a forceful way that we become sort of these egotistical, narcissistic individuals, and rather take a step back and say, let me listen, let me be patient, all of this, and not overthink. So what do you have to say?
Look, what I do for myself is in Tahajjud in the morning, I ask Allah to give me discernment. Discernment is the word. Ask, add that to your Tahajjud. For Allah to go, give me discernment of who I need to say no to. And to give me the strength to be able to say no when needed. But also look at the peace, right? What peace do I want to have in my life? And the question that's being asked, is that person going to bring peace into my space? Because your peace and your space is the most important thing, right? Safety is the most important thing as well. Your surroundings need to feel safe at all times, whether it's your workspace, whether it's your home space. If you don't feel safe, that's where you're going to have anxiety
and problems
and lots of anger as well.
I think just before you complete that, Sister Farah, we just have 2 minutes left. So I want to cover this one question, but one of our listeners has reached out, and this person has said, Salams, my husband feels that a stay-at-home mum has a lot of time on their hands, and with that, he makes me feel like I'm not doing much at home. So if I say no to something, it becomes a problem. So how do I handle something like this? How do I handle a situation like this? This listener is asking very quickly. What advice can you share?
I will definitely suggest that the listener take the husband and they go for counseling, like a mediator. Because being a stay-at-home mom, it's a full-time job. right? And it's exhausting. So men do think that women do nothing, that maybe she mustn't do nothing all day, from cooking to cleaning and everything, and then you can see what it's like, all the stuff that she does do. Because sometimes they just do it to avoid the arguments, to keep the peace, but then he doesn't also understand. So either she goes out for the whole day, leave him alone with the children, or leave him alone with the household, and then he can see what it's like to take care of the household. Because it takes a full-time job, especially with children and cleaning and cooking and stuff. And it takes a lot out of a woman.
So you heard that, sister. Pack your bags, go for a spa for the day, leave the husband with the kids, and let's see if he can manage. But I think now, just to put it as just lightheartedness there. But I think it's true. I think, but a lot of people say in communities now, especially within the Muslim communities, they don't like to go for counseling. It's not us. It's not our thing. It's for the mushriks and all of that stuff. But I think in today's day and age, it's rather necessary that there should be a mediator present. I mean, we have Faisal C. just up show on the weekend who helps with these kind of advice. So inshallah, this person finds the avenue as to open up the eyes of the hubby so he can see it's not easy to be a stay-at-home mom, especially when you raise kids. A lot of chaos happens and time just flies. So, Sister Fada, we have to conclude there. Very quickly, how can the listeners reach you if they want to get in touch with you, find out more information, even ask you questions? What can they do?
Okay. On 082 744 3232. On the 5th of October, I'm going to have the self-love and people-pleasing workshop. From people-pleasing to self-love workshop, inshallah.
I mean, we'll find out more information about that. Sister Fadwa, Jazakallah khair for joining us once more. We're looking forward to our next conversation. You have yourself a great day and a blessed week ahead, inshallah, sister. And we'll chat to you soon.
Jazakallah khair.
Ameen.
Thank you.
That was Sister Fadwa Bully, our energy specialist, joining us here, giving us some great tips on self-love, how to stop being people pleasers and start focusing on what matters most, which is us and our happiness. Up next, Eric Monina for the 4 p.m. news. Eric, how are you?
How's it going, my brother?
How's your day today?
Very well, slow, tired, and sleepy.
You know what else is going to be happening tomorrow? It's going to be that times 10 because we've got a heat wave coming tomorrow, up to 40 degrees Celsius.
Oh, it's going to be scorching.
So around about this time, get your meat, your shish and yama outside. We're going to put it on the coral brick outside.
It will be blistering hot.
That's it. It's going to have nice and crispy. You like it?
I like it succulent.
Succulent. There we go. Just like the news. Up next. Stay tuned.
Audio stream across the world on radioalansar.co.za.
An informative Islamic global perspective. This is Al Ansar News.
Slightly gone past the hour of 4 this afternoon, the 10th of September. The news from Durban, 90.4 FM, Pietermaritzburg, 105.6 FM. A suspected murderer is shot dead near Hillcrest, America. An alleged killer of a police officer has been killed in a gun battle with the police. The Hawks KwaZulu-Natal tracking team in KwaNosi tracked him down near Hillcrest while he was driving a delivery truck. The suspect allegedly opened fire at the police officers, which led to a retaliatory shootout. The Hawks spokesperson Simpiwe Mhlongo says the suspect was wanted for 2023 murder of a police constable, Obi Shange. More news. A damning reports that Soweto, Guinea, topping the list of municipalities. A damning report that saw Guinea topping the list of municipalities being identified for human rights violations shows that most complaints centered around water and sanitation failures. The South African Human Rights Commission this week released its State of Human Rights in South Africa report for 2024-2025. It is based on more than 2,000 complaints lodged over the financial year. KwaZulu-Natal, Limpopo, and the Northwest are the provinces that saw a bulk of the complaints. eThekwini, Rustenburg, and Polokwane municipalities emerged as hotspots for alleged rights violations on a local government level. The Commission chairperson, Chris Nielsen, says their KwaZulu-Natal office alone received 395 complaints. 35 were directed at eThekwini municipality, the highest number against any metro. The latest development: burning tires and clouds of tear gas filled the streets of Coronationville in Johannesburg earlier today. Residents are taken to the streets over water shortages, they say, that has been ongoing in the last 8 years. Several people were struck by rubber bullets as police tried to disperse the crowd. Residents insist their protest is peaceful and they're on the streets to demand a basic right, which is water. Despite Johannesburg Water's assurances this week that supply would be restored within 10 hours, taps keep running dry. Local media says residents vow to continue demonstrating until the issue is resolved. More news. President Ramaphosa responds to questions in Parliament in its question and answer sessions. Various issues have been raised, such as the US tariff on South African economy. President Ramaphosa has this to say on why South Africa should not retaliate with severe tariffs on the US.
You need to achieve. We believe that we are on the right course, a course that should end up with a mutually beneficial outcome. The United States is our second largest trading partners, accounting for hundreds of thousands of workers who are employed here. The 600 US companies that are doing business in South Africa employ many people, and it is the interests of these many people that we as a government have to take care of before we engage in a war that may not yield the results that we want. So if one wants to play to the gallery, one could embark on the type of option that Honorable Malema is talking about without knowing what outcome that option will have.
International news. Iran has condemned the Israeli regime's aggression on Qatari soil, stressing the need for Muslim nations to act in unison to confront the Israeli regime's atrocities and its looming hegemony. Israel launched airstrikes on the headquarters of the Palestinian resistance movement Hamas in the Qatari capital Doha in what was described as an assassination operation that claimed the lives of several Hamas officials as well as civilians in the Persian Gulf Arab country. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said in a statement, he says that Israel has heinously done what Iran would never contemplate, which is attacking the people and government of Qatar. The Iranian foreign minister has called for concerted efforts by Muslims in the face of Israeli acts of aggression and have expressed the Islamic Republic's readiness to cooperate in confronting threats from the West and Israel. Financial indicators ran to the dollar 17 rands 57, the euro 20 rands 57, and the British pound it's at 23 rands 78 cents. In your weather, it's 29 degrees. A quick reminder of our top story: an alleged killer of a police officer has been killed in a gun battle with the police. The Hawks tracked down a man in Kwangolosi while he was driving a truck. That's the news. We cross over to Peter Maritzburg.
Making news on the 17th of Rabiul Awal, corresponding with the 10th of September on 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. Court battles and businesses outlook dominate today's headlines. Good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum. I am Huda Ahmed. The Msunduzi municipality is fighting back its lens battle with Royal AM over a sponsorship dispute. The case is currently before the court, with the municipality defending its position against claims made by the football club. The outcome is expected to determine the future of the sponsorship agreement. In Pietermaritzburg, a fire in the CBD caused major disruptions on Tuesday evening. Emergency services were called to contain the blaze, which sent smoke into the streets and forced nearby businesses and residents to evacuate. Roads in the area were closed while the fire was brought under control, and investigations into the case are currently ongoing. And in more news, 8 pupils in Soweto are allegedly drugged and assaulted sparking shock and anger in the community. Authorities are investigating the case while parents and residents demand accountability and protection for children at schools. In a developing story, President Cyril Ramaphosa has insisted that South Africa will not be bullied by international powers. He dismissed claims that the government is bowing to pressure from the United States, saying policy decisions are made independently and in the best country's interests. And finally, in international news, a new survey shows that US firms operating in China are more pessimistic than at any time since 1999. The findings reflect concerns over business conditions and highlight challenges faced by American companies in the Chinese market. The report suggests growing ease about future of the US-China trade relations. And now let's take a look at the Salah schedule for today, followed by our Islamic indicators and temperatures across the region. Asr Salah commences at 4:07, Maghrib Salah commences at 5:50, Isha Salah commences at 6:52. And now moving on to our Durban times, Asr Salah commences at 4:05, Maghrib Salah commences at 5:44, Isha Salah commences at 7:04. And now moving on to our Islamic indicators, Zakat Nisab is 14,231, Mahari Fatimi is 35,578, and the minimum Meher is 711 Rand. And now taking a look at temperatures, Pietermaritzburg 9 to a high of 22, Newcastle 7 to a high of 21, and Escort 4 to a high of 18. For Al Ansar News, this is Huda Ahmed.
Looking to book your next holiday? Make your way to One Stop Travel and Tours. At One Stop Travel, we offer a wide range of holidays at the most competitive prices. Group tours, tailor-made holidays, cruises, transfers, accommodation, travel insurance, and car hire. Visit our website on www.onestoptours.co.za for our current Turkey specials, Mauritius school holiday deals, and Umrah packages. Choose from a multitude of pre-made packages. Visit one of our branches in Overport, Gateway, Musgrave Centre, Fordsburg, Westwood Mall, Pavilion Shopping Centre, Chatsworth, Phoenix, and Cape Town. Contact us today on 0860 109 500. One Stop Travel and Tours, your one-stop travel shop.
At Radio Al Ansar, we value your feedback. If you have a broadcasting-related complaint, please send it in writing to the head of the Complaints Committee. Be sure to include your full name, contact details, a clear explanation of the complaint, and any supporting documents. You can email your complaint to feedback@alansar.org.za, that's feedback@alansar.org.za, or visit our administrative office at 207 West Road, Overport, Durban. Your voice matters to us.
Get ready, Durban! The TBR Family 5-kilometer fun run and walk is happening. 11 October at the Blue Lagoon Lawns, kicking off at 7 a.m. Join us for a day packed with excitement, a scavenger hunt, kite building, a burger eating showdown, and prizes galore. Enjoy food trucks, family games, and a live 6-hour broadcast from Radio Al Ansar. Don't forget, bring a new toy to brighten a child's day in hospital.
The views and opinions expressed by the guest and presenters of Radio Al Ansar are not necessarily the views and opinions of Radio Al Ansar and the Al Ansar Foundation.
This Azan is sponsored for the Isale Sawab of Marhum Muhammad Farooq Latib and all Marhumin. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them the highest abode in Jannah. Ameen.
أعزائي المستمعين، حان الآن موعد أذان العصر لمدينة دربن وما حولها.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح.